Am I a lord? Have I such a lady? Or do I dream? Or have I dreamt till now? I do not sleep. I see, I hear, I speak. I smell sweet savors, and I feel nice things. Upon all my life, I am a lord indeed, and not a tinkerer, nor a Christophero sly. Well, bring our lady hither to our sights. And once again, the smallest pot of ale.
Will't please your mightiness to wash your hands? Oh, how we joy to see your wit restored. Oh, that once more you knew but what you are. These 15 years you have been in a dream, or when you walked, so waked as if you slept.
These 15 years, by my fay, a goodly nap. But did I never speak at all during that time?
Oh yes, my lord, but very idle words. For though you lay here in this goodly chamber, yet would you say ye were beaten out of door, and rail upon the hostess of the house, and say you would present her at the leet, because she brought stone jugs and no sealed quarts. Sometimes you would call out for Cecily Hackett.
I, the woman's maid of the house.
Why, sir, you know no house, nor no such maid, nor no such men as you have reckoned up, as Stephen Sly and the John Naps of Greece, and Peter Turf and Henry Pimpernel, and 20 more such names and men as these, which never were, no man ever saw.
Now, Lord, be thanks for my great amends.
Amen.
How fares my noble lord?
Mary, I fare well, for here is cheer enough. Where is my wife?
Here, noble lord. What is thy will with her?
Are you my wife? It will not call me husband. But my men should call me lord. I am your goodman.
My husband and my lord and my husband. I am your wife in all obedience.
I know it well. What must I call her?
Madame.
Alice, madame? Or Joan, madame?
Madame, and nothing else. So lords call ladies.
Madame wife, they say that I have dreamed, and slept 15 years or more.
Aye, and the time seems 30 unto me, being all this time abandoned from your bed.
'Tis much. Servants, leave me and her alone. Madame, undress you, and you come to my bed.
Thrice, noble lord, let me entreat of you to pardon me yet for a night or two, or if not so, until the sun be set, for your physicians have expressly charged in peril to incur your former malady, that I should yet absent me from your bed. I hope this reason stands for my excuse.
Your honors player, heeding your amendment, are come to play a pleasant comedy. For so your doctors hold it very meet, seeing too much sadness hath congealed your blood, and melancholy is the nurse of frenzy. Therefore they thought it good you hear a play, and frame your mind to mirth and merriment, which bars 1,000 harms and lengthens life.
Mary, I'll let them play it. 'Tis not a comedy, or a Christmas gamble, or a tucker trick.
Nay, my lord, it is more pleasing stuff.
Is it household stuff?
It's a kind of history.
No. Well, I'll let them see to it. Sit by my side and let the world slip. We shall ne'er be younger.
Go ahead, Gavin.
Hello, my name is Gavin,
I'm Michael.
I'm Ethan.
and we're doing an analysis on the induction scene, specifically the second scene where Christophero is being, is surrounded by, messengers, servants, and, he's being pranked, right? Because he's being told that he's a lord, that he has a lady, and, he's been asleep for 15 years. Oh my God. So this induction scene serves as kind of the introduction of the play, but also to let them know to let the audience know that this is a satire. And so that's the main gist of what our scene was, is Christopher, all confused, asks what's happening, and then, he starts asking for, stuff he likes, like, women or alcohol, and it's, a very interesting induction scene, so,
Michael, do you want to say
in this scene, it seems like it's not really important, and you may want to skip over it and just start the main play itself. But this scene, or this induction scene, introduces a lot of the reoccurring themes within the main play, such as social class. You have the divisions between the Lord and the drunkard Christopher Sly, and this introduces really early on the social class and hierarchy issues that will happen later in the play. There's also the introduction of gender roles. For example, in this induction, Christopher Sly demands that his wife undress and come to bed, and this is kind of similar to how later in the play, how Petruchio demands that Kat kisses him. And while this wasn't specifically in scene 2, it was in scene 1 of the induction, but if you notice how Sly treats the hostess, it's really rude and really irrational behavior, just like how later in the main play, Petruchio treats Kat, and how women are treated. And the biggest theme that's introduced within this induction is the disguises and costumes. So in the very first scene within our rendition of the play, there's a pan shot of Gavin. So it starts from the bottom up, and you don't see Gavin's face. You don't know that he's the drunkard yet, but it has him just wearing a really nice suit, and so just from the clothes he's wearing, you wouldn't know that he's a drunkard, but he's acting as a noble instead. And this sets up for the rest of the play, such as the Tranio, Lucentio, and Hortensio subplot, or when the merchant pretends to be Vincentio. But this can also figuratively be a symbol for empowerment or becoming someone that you're not, such as Tranio acting like a noble when he wears his noble clothes and pretends to be Lucentio, or for example, the monologue at the end when Kat, it's up for debate whether she's hiding behind a mask and not actually meaning what she means at the end of the play, or if she's just doing it to conform and not get punished by Petruchio.
Yeah. So I'll move on to what I was going to say is I believe that the entire induction is setting up the play as satire. Everything that happens is kind of proving that what you're going to read or watch is a comedy. It's not meant to be taken seriously. Shakespeare wasn't being sexist. There were sexist elements, but he was mocking them. One example I have of that is in the specific scene we did, Christopher Sly is taught to believe that he is a lord. He genuinely thinks he's this rich lord, but in reality he's a poor drunkard. And that brings me back to later on at the very beginning of Act 5 on page 76 of our packets, where the pedant is pretending to be Vincentio, the rich lord. The pedant is not a rich guy, he's kind of middle class, so he's not as low as Christopher Sly was, but he is pretending to be this rich lord, which makes me think that that was Shakespeare's way of reminding you of the induction, sort of towards the end of the play, giving you this thought so you remember the induction, and maybe you remember that this is a comedy, just a little reminder that it's all supposed to be for fun and not him seriously bashing on women. Another thing is the character Christopher Sly himself. in the fact that he, like Michael was saying earlier, just demands women, he just wants everything that he needs, and that later on in the play, Petruchio does some of the same things that Christopher Sly does, like immediately demanding a kiss from Kate, believing that he's this great guy and wanting to control everything. And in that way, I think that it's almost as if Christopher Sly could be seen as a euphemism for Petruchio. Like, Christopher Sly is Petruchio. He's this boorish man who's a fool, and everybody's just making fun of him, and he just wants all these things immediately. He wants women, he wants whatever he can get. He doesn't care about being nice to people, but in reality, he's just an idiot who everybody's playing a joke on. And part of the reason, and in the play we did, our video of our play, satire elements can be seen with the laughing emoji face that was behind Gavin's back the entire time. It was there sort of to see that Christopher wasn't actually an amazing lord that everybody loved, who had a beautiful wife, but just a fool who was being laughed at by everybody behind his back. And that sort of sets it up as a joke. The beginning is a joke meant to get you laughing and in the mindset that everything you're about to watch is for comedic effect. Nothing that Shakespeare is putting in his play is actually meant as a true sexist manifesto. That's why I believe that the Induction is satire setting up the rest of the play as such.
And furthermore, to add on to...
Okay.
Oh, I mean, if you want to go.
No, you can say your point.
Okay, a huge theme in both the induction scene and the rest of the play is manipulation. For example, when, the page is, saying to Christopher, oh, I'd love to be with you and to make out with you, but I'm feeling very ill. Obviously, Paige is trying to just manipulate him into thinking that, he loves him, but really it's not at all. It's just to gain a few laughs. And many characters, at first just want to manipulate other characters who seem weaker. For example, at the beginning of the play in Act 1, when Lucentio first, sees Bianca for the first time, you can see on the way he's talking using, vocabulary words and his, very much hyperboles, that it might not be love that he has for Bianca. And so that's what really prompts this, whole charade of, getting into Bianca's pants by manipulating, by having Petruchio manipulate, Katharina, and his servants, pretend to be someone else in order to gain favors with Katharina and Bianca's father. And so, and in the induction scene, you can see that this isn't really a big surprise because of the amount of hyperbole and exaggeration that was fit into the induction scene, right? It's perfectly absurd, the fact that, some, drunken tinker can become a lord when he wakes up. And that element of irony, of, situation where you can kind of, feel that, Cristofero is, being manipulated, but at the same time, it's funny, right? Because, he seems like the kind of person who would be more susceptible and to that kind of tomfoolery.
Good. Michael, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just going to wrap it up and just
Go ahead.
So the induction has all the elements that we were looking for in a satire, such as comic elements, hyperboles, and there's dramatic irony, as in Christopher Sly doesn't know what's happening, but everyone else around him and the audience or reader knows what's happening. And there's just absurdity, how he would believe that the page was his wife, or how he would believe that he was a lord. And these are just the basic elements of a satire, and that's why we think it's a satire.
Yep. And now that we finished our analysis, Gavin here has a rap that he wrote about Shakespeare and Taming of the Shrew.
It's more of a poem / rap.
So we're going to let him do that before we finish.
It's called Don't Tame the Shrew. Alright, here it goes. Shakespeare is a baller. Poetry, let's color. Let the shrew give us a holler. May our young minds grow taller. We are iconoclasts and gifted. Our destinies we picked it. Furtively diabolical, our conscience is pure. Representing the logical. Insanity, there's no cure. Petruchio poses purposely. Katharina kicks critically. Bianca boasts beautifully. Lucentio loves lusciously. And Hortensio hoards hubris. Listen to me. Once this video is done, let us hear an applause. Bar none.